Hi, welcome to another BPO Connect webinar. Today we're discussing our statement of advice outsourcing process for financial advisors. We'll look at the end-to-end process and how we get started with advisors who want to trial us. I'm Catherine Gallen from BPO Connect, and today I'm joined by Mark Lipshut, one of our paraplanning managers at BPO Connect. So I'll let Mark take over to discuss the process.
Thanks, Catherine. Welcome, everybody. I'd just like to start by saying, I guess, an outsourcing relationship can be a challenge for organisations that currently complete their paraplanning functions in-house. So today I'd like to talk just a little bit about the benefits of paraplanning and how an outsourcing paraplanning arrangement might look. So what we'll cover, why outsource, the SOA process from start to end, how we access information, what's covered in the engagement, and how to trial our service. So why would you outsource paraplanning? The cost of hiring a paraplanner in Australia is extremely high. Typically, a paraplanning salary is about $70,000 per annum, and this gets you somebody with maybe 2 to 5 years experience. When you factor in superannuation, sick leave, holiday entitlements, ongoing paraplanning, training costs, software license costs, office furniture, you're looking at probably an additional 25% on top of that. So in rough terms, the total cost for an in-house paraplanner is just under $90,000 a year, or about $7,000 to $7,500 a month. So if the opportunity comes along to grow your paraplanning business without adding a person without adding a additional person, then I guess that's what we're here to talk about. So apart from avoiding all the costs above, in a lot of cases also businesses only need half or 3/4 of a paraplanner. It's not often that a paraplanner is fully utilised. So by outsourcing, you are only paying for the work as it needs to be done. I guess this also means that during quiet periods like December and January, when everything slows down, you're not paying for a paraplanner when there's no work to be done. So I guess one of the big concerns, I guess, or compromises that advisors feel they make when they outsource is quality, and I guess that's where at BPO we're giving our outsourcing arrangement gives planners the opportunity to access well-trained and highly qualified paraplanners, but without the costs associated with that. So myself and all the other senior paraplanners at BPO have many years of experience in the industry. In my case, I've been in the industry for 14 years, prepared more than I'd like to admit, number of documents, and so we understand the process. We've also worked as advisors, so we understand as well what the importance of quality, accuracy, and delivering a document to the client that is up to the standard that's expected. So in terms of quality, we have a lot of inbuilt quality control processes. This, as I said, is it falls back to the quality being our number one requirement and number one priority. And the structured process, I guess, that we implement means that your needs are always met, and that your service, the service level that we offer, is always up to standard. In terms of the information, I guess paraplanning, that's another concern sometimes, that sensitive client information is being transferred. We implement a lot of quality control and data protection procedures, and the technology we use means that the client data is always protected, as it would be if we were working within the office. So SOA preparation as an outsourced outcome. This just gives a brief outline of how we work and how the outsourcing process can look. I guess the main thing is that we work according to your templates and get to know your way of compiling SOAs. So rather than offering an off-the-shelf solution, this is a tailored and customized process that means that it's a seamless transition from offering an in-house paraplanning service to potentially outsourcing your SOAs. So and I guess that comes down to a lot of investment on our behalf in understanding your templates, the nuances, I guess, of a lot of advisors in terms of compiling their SOAs, and making sure that the consistency and quality is always there. We have a local and offshore delivery model. So in most cases, in all cases, the SOA is produced, constructed, reviewed here in Australia. We do use our offshore partners for some of the data entry and a lot of the static data that goes into a traditional statement of advice. But it is a local offering and a local solution. And I guess what we do find is that there is a lot of need for I guess a communication between your Australian paraplanning manager and your advisors, because we understand that it is a fluid process, and SOAs and templates are constantly changing. The way that advisors like to present their documents is constantly changing. So we make sure that we continue to work and speak with advisors to make sure that the documents that they're delivering are always up to standard and in the format and mode that they like. We'll use your fact find and notes as a guide. The information and how you would request an SOA is exactly the same as if you had an in-house paraplanner. We can, in some cases, contact insurance, super funds, financial institutions, if that was something that was of interest, in order to collate some of the data. But in most cases, we would that would be included as part of the fact find. As I mentioned, our onshore paraplanners review for quality and accuracy, and we always work within specified timeframes. So I guess that's really obviously of great importance. Obviously, not just to make sure that the quality is there, but also to make sure that if you've got appointments booked and you're working to timeframes, that they're obviously adhered to, and that's something we obviously take very seriously. The turnaround times, I guess, with an outsourcing provider, perhaps give a little bit more comfort. I know that traditionally, if an in-house paraplanner, sometimes the lines can be a little bit blurred, and it's not always clear. It's not always clear when the documents are due and the specified timeframes. So I guess an outsourced outcome would provide a little bit more certainty around when the documents need to be delivered. So just a rough overview of the SOA process. The first step is always to upload the results of each fact find to the cloud. This would be, traditionally Xplan, Coin, or other applications. If you're not in the cloud, which for advisors is often the case, we can remotely log into your server if required to get going. So whatever the case may be, or wherever software or applications your firm is using at the moment, we can always make it work to get going. So once the results are uploaded, the fact find, in the first step is for your paraplanning manager or the team in Australia to review the documents, just to make sure that we're clear on the advice. There's no information missing. and we understand any other notes or bits of information that might be relevant to preparing the document. This will always happen within the first 24 hours. So I guess you know that once the information is received, assuming there's no other issues, your document will be started straight away. But if not, you'll get a notification within 24 hours of extra information that is missing or any clarification that needs to be made. From this point, the fact find will be sent off to offshore partners for the data to be entered. We create a customised form and data entry solution so that to make it as easy as possible when this data is being entered, to minimise, I guess, a lot of probably the most frustrating thing for advisors a lot of the time is just the small mistakes and errors that are often in a statement of advice, and just the lack of, I guess, attention to detail. So I guess we're very big on quality control, and a lot of that comes down to making sure that the data is entered is checked, and we minimise the amount of those errors that I know upset advisors, and probably reduce the quality of the document to a certain extent. So once the data is entered, the paraplanning team in Australia will construct the SOA, which is really adding to the existing data that's in the document, all the static data, the current position, and writing up the advice section, which is obviously tailored and based on the SOA request that's sent through, but also heavily guided by the template. So and then the final step is for a notification to be sent through that the SOA is ready to review. In a lot of cases, we can send through the document in any format that you like. For minor changes, which we hope is usually the case, they can be made directly, or the document is sent back to us for any changes to be made, and then a PDF copy is sent to you to present to the client. So I'd just like to touch briefly on the benefit of the cloud processes. Because information is consolidated in the cloud, it gives us a little bit of flexibility to provide additional SOA related services, and it does make it easier to establish SMFs as required or for ongoing administration, and you and your clients can see this information in real time. If you're not in the cloud, that's okay too. We have the technology, and we can access and set up an online document system. There's a lot of applications now that are cloud-based that we can use to upload data, to share data, and to manage the SOA process. So whether you are using a cloud-based application, or whether you're not operating in that under the cloud at the moment, we have a solution for you. So how to get started? What's specified in the service level agreement? Whenever we take on any work, obviously you will accept the job. We'll have in there resolution timeframes around SOA delivery, processes for any escalation, delivery dates. There will also be contact for your Australian paraplanning manager, and anything else that I guess is important in terms of the level of service that you expect, and that we offer under the agreement. The agreement will also specify, I guess, the particular systems that you're using. For instance, Xplan. number of jobs and the job description, and personnel and staff. So you know, who are our point of contacts, and the best people to speak to regarding any of the process. So what we'll ask you to provide: an existing fact find, your SOA template, and any existing client statement of advice, just to give us a couple of completed examples of how the document might look, just based on some of the most common areas of advice. And I guess from this point, we can then we work on customising the forms, the SOA request process, and anything else. So it really we do want it to look and feel exactly like it would as if someone was sitting in the office next to you, and the information that you provide is what you would provide to an in-house paraplanner. It's just that it's being done by someone not in your office, and potentially at a much lower cost. We'll also ask for any financial product lists, approved product lists. In a lot of cases, this would be in the fact find and the SOA request. But if there were approved product lists or model portfolios that you're working off, we'd also ask to them, so we can build them into our forms and processes. So I guess the next steps, if outsourcing was something that you wanted to trial or dip a toe in the water, how it would work is that we would encourage you to trial a bundle of work, whether you've tried outsourcing before and perhaps had a negative experience, or whether it's something that you can see the value in, but haven't had the chance or the opportunity to do. We would encourage you to trial a bundle of work. Myself or another of the paraplanning managers would liaise with you. In a lot of cases, we do take a lot of time to get to learn your preferred templates and processes. We do start with a blank sheet of paper, so it is a case of really understanding exactly how you work, how you want to deliver the advice to the client. Because at the end of the day, that's our aim as well as yours, to deliver the best quality document that we can. So once we understand how your templates need to look, the processes that you want to work towards, we'll instruct our team to meet these standards, and then it's our job to make sure, and I guess and this is where we've put in place systems and procedures to make sure that the work does meet your standards, and then we can trial it on some live SOAs. You feel free to send through a cross section, or whether it be the most complex or the most common types of SOAs, whatever you feel would give you the best indication of outsourcing, and whether it might be something that your business could benefit from. We would encourage you to trial it, and hopefully the benefits of outsourcing, as mentioned earlier, would be something that would flow on to your business. And at the end of the day, the real aim is for this to be something seamless, and for you to free up your time to focus on the advice, meeting with clients, and more of the income generating type work that advisors need to invest in these days.
Thank you, Mark. Now,
I'll just pass back to Catherine. Thank you for your time.
Yeah. So now, if you want to trial a bundle of SOAs at a special rate, or if you have any questions for today's webinar, of course you can email marketing@bpoconnect.com.au, and remember to sign up for our next webinar on our website. The So we appreciate your time and look forward to seeing you at the next webinar.